Only the chosen ones possess these 7 marks. Do you have any? Many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. Have you ever felt like you don't quite belong in this world, as if you were meant for something greater? Perhaps it's because you are one of the chosen ones, those set apart with a higher purpose. Throughout history, God has marked certain individuals with unique qualities, yet many remain unaware of their true nature. In this video, we will uncover the 7 unmistakable signs that define a chosen one. As you listen, reflect on your own journey. Do these marks resonate with you? By the end, you may realize that you are more extraordinary than you ever imagined. Stay with us until the last mark. It's the most surprising of all. And if you feel called, declare it in the comments. I choose God, and He chose me. 1. When you pray, things happen. There is one unmistakable mark that truly sets the chosen ones apart. Their prayers do not merely echo in the silence, they transform reality. While many pray without seeing change, the chosen ones possess a divine connection so profound that when they pray, the very atmosphere around them shifts. Their prayers are not mere words. They are declarations infused with faith, aligning with the will of the divine, and as a result, miracles unfold. Throughout history, we see this truth in action. When Elijah prayed, the heavens shut, withholding rain for 3.5 years. Then, at his prayer again, the rain returned. Peter's prayer carried such power that a paralyzed man stood and walked. Paul and Silas, bound in chains within the depths of a prison, lifted their voices in prayer and praise. And in an instant, the prison doors swung open by themselves. What separates these prayers from the countless others spoken every day? The chosen ones do not just ask, they declare. They do not merely hope, they trust. They do not recite words. They align their spirit with the highest purpose. And it is this alignment that causes mountains to move and circumstances to change. Yet, here is something even deeper. The effectiveness of prayer is not found in eloquence, but in faith. The power of a single whisper, spoken with unwavering belief, outweighs 1,000 empty words. The chosen ones understand this well. They do not rely on grand speeches or religious formalities. Instead, they carry a faith so potent that heaven itself responds. If you have ever experienced a moment where you prayed and saw a direct answer, where circumstances shifted in ways beyond human explanation, know that it was not luck or coincidence. It was a sign that your voice carries weight in the spiritual realm, that you are heard, that your words hold power beyond the physical world. But with great power comes great responsibility. If your prayers can bring transformation, how have you been using this sacred gift? Have you prayed only for personal desires, or have you sought to bring light, healing, and change to the world around you? The chosen ones are not just given a connection to heaven for their own benefit, they are entrusted with it for a greater purpose. In today's world, where distractions are endless and faith is often tested, the chosen ones remain steadfast. They do not waver when circumstances seem bleak. They stand firm, knowing that their prayers are not cries into the void, but direct lines to the divine. This is what distinguishes them. If you find within yourself this deep, undeniable faith, if your prayers have moved mountains, shifted destinies, and carried weight beyond what logic can explain, then you too bear this mark of the chosen. But remember, the gift of powerful prayer is not just about what you receive. It is about how you use it to uplift, heal, and transform the world around you. So ask yourself, how will you wield this sacred power? Will you use it to align with divine purpose and bring light into the darkness? That, after all, is the true calling of the chosen ones. If you believe in the power of prayer and divine intervention, comment, "I am a chosen one" below. Your faith moves mountains. 2. God speaks to you through dreams and signs. Life often feels predictable, unfolding in an expected rhythm, until something happens that forces you to pause and ask, was that just a coincidence, or was it a divine sign? You start seeing repeating numbers everywhere, hearing messages that seem too perfectly timed to be accidental, or experiencing dreams that later unfold in real life. These are not random occurrences. They are signals meant for those walking a path of spiritual awakening. The chosen ones are not lost. They are guided. Since ancient times, God has used dreams, visions, and signs to communicate with those destined for a higher purpose. Joseph, son of Jacob, received dreams foretelling the future. The prophet Daniel had visions that altered the course of history. In Matthew 2, God warned the wise men through a dream, guiding them away from Herod's deception. But God's messages are not always delivered in grand, supernatural ways. Sometimes they come through the smallest details: a door that suddenly closes, an encounter that feels fated, a Bible verse that appears at the perfect moment. The real question is, are you paying attention? Too often, people brush off these signs, rationalizing them as mere coincidences, unaware that divine guidance is unfolding right in front of them. A woman once shared how she kept seeing the same number sequence 333 everywhere, on receipts, license plates, even her phone battery. At first, she dismissed it. Then one evening, struggling with an important life decision, she opened the Bible to Jeremiah 33:3. "Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." That verse spoke directly to her heart, confirming that God was guiding her. How many times have you overlooked a sign because it seemed too subtle? What if that missed opportunity, that unexpected delay, or that persistent inner nudge was God's way of steering you in the right direction? The chosen ones feel this calling deep within. They sense they are being prepared for something greater. So next time the universe whispers, instead of dismissing it, ask, "Lord, is this from you? What do you want to show me?" Because the truth is, most of the time, the answers are already around you. You just need to open your eyes. Spiritual awakening is not about seeking signs, but learning to recognize the ones already present. When you align with divine wisdom, you begin to see that nothing is ever truly random. Every experience, every moment is part of a greater plan, leading you exactly where you are meant to be. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's stay connected on this journey of divine guidance. 3. You feel and perceive things before others. Have you ever had a moment where you just knew something was off before anyone else even noticed? Or perhaps you've seen a deeper truth that others were blind to, as if you were perceiving a reality hidden beneath the surface? If so, understand that this is not mere intuition, it's spiritual discernment, one of the most profound signs of the chosen ones. Those who are spiritually awakened possess a heightened sensitivity that transcends the ordinary. They can sense subtle shifts in energy, detect unspoken intentions, and often grasp the answer long before the question is even asked. But here's the paradox. This gift, as powerful as it is, comes with a price. The chosen ones are often misunderstood, ridiculed, and even rejected because they see what others cannot. Consider the story of Joseph, the son of Jacob, a man destined for greatness, yet despised for his divine insight. God granted him visions of the future, but when he shared these revelations, he was met with scorn and hostility from his own family. In Genesis 37:19, his brothers mockingly said, "Here comes that dreamer. Let's kill him and see what comes of his dreams." And isn't that the fate of many chosen ones? They are labeled as dramatic, paranoid, or even arrogant, when in truth, they are simply perceiving a reality beyond what the average person can comprehend. The world moves in darkness, unaware of the hidden currents shaping destiny, while those with discernment walk in light, avoiding pitfalls and deceptions. And what's even more fascinating, the chosen ones don't always know how to explain this extraordinary perception they just know. It's as if an invisible force whispers truths to them, nudging them away from harm and guiding them toward their divine path. Have you ever found yourself warning someone about a danger they couldn't see, only for them to ignore you, only for your intuition to be proven right later? Have you ever sensed the presence of something unseen, a force urging you to trust your inner voice despite what the world says? If so, this could be a powerful sign that you carry this mark. But this is just the beginning. The next mark of the chosen ones may explain why people react to you in ways you've never fully understood. Why, even in silence, your very presence can stir something deep within others. Why do some admire you instantly while others seem unsettled by your energy, as if they recognize something in you that they cannot define? Stay with me, because the answer is more profound than you might think. Declare today, by commenting below, "I am divinely guided," and trust in the wisdom within you. If this message resonates, share it with someone who needs to hear it, because those who see beyond the surface are never truly alone. 5. Toxic people distance themselves from you. Have you ever felt like certain people just can't seem to stay around you? Colleagues, acquaintances, even family members without any clear reason begin to distance themselves, as if something about you unsettles them. But what if this isn't a problem, but rather a powerful sign of your spiritual awakening? The chosen ones carry a light so strong that it exposes the darkness in others. It's not something visible to the eye, but something deeply felt. People who harbor envy, deceit, or ill intentions instinctively sense this, and they can't stand being in your presence for too long. Just as Jesus faced relentless opposition from the Pharisees, not because he wronged them, but because his very presence exposed their hypocrisy, you too might find yourself alienated for simply being who you are. As he boldly declared in John 8:44, "You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires." His words cut through the lies, and those living in deception couldn't handle the truth. Likewise, when you walk in divine purpose, toxic people will feel uncomfortable, even when you say nothing at all. This isn't something to grieve over. It's something to recognize as divine protection. Sometimes, God removes people from your life not as a punishment, but as a safeguard. He knows who would drain your energy, who would deceive you, and who would hold you back. When certain individuals leave, it's not rejection, it's redirection. Yet some won't go quietly. Some will try to wound you before they leave, spreading lies, twisting your words, and creating conflicts that never existed. But here's what you must remember. This is not about you. It's about the power you carry. Darkness will always resist the light, but light will always prevail. Think about the times when people with negative energy suddenly distance themselves from you. Did it leave you confused? Did it make you question yourself? Instead, consider it confirmation that you are set apart. Chosen ones are never meant to blend in. They are meant to stand out. Look at the world today. How often do people turn against those who speak truth? Think about someone who stands firm in their beliefs despite criticism. Perhaps a public figure who refuses to compromise their values, or even someone in your personal life who chooses integrity over popularity. These individuals face resistance because they reflect something higher, and that includes you. The more you grow spiritually, the more you will notice this pattern. So, the next time someone exits your life without explanation, don't take it personally. Instead, ask yourself, is this a lesson in protection? Is this a sign of my spiritual growth? Drop a comment below and declare, God removes from me everything that doesn't come from Him. Let this be your affirmation that you are walking in divine light, and no darkness can overshadow what you were meant to be. 6. You attract conflicts without provoking them. Have you ever walked into a room and felt an unspoken tension, as if your very presence unsettled some people? Have you noticed that, without any wrongdoing on your part, others seem to create obstacles or misunderstandings around you? This isn't a coincidence. It's the mark of the chosen ones. Those who walk in spiritual wisdom and divine purpose naturally carry an energy that disrupts deception, exposing hidden truths that many prefer to ignore. This resistance from others isn't because of who you are personally, but because of what you represent. The light within you is a direct challenge to the darkness that some refuse to confront. Consider the biblical story of Daniel. He wasn't a troublemaker, he didn't rebel, and he certainly didn't seek conflict. Yet, his unwavering integrity and refusal to compromise his faith made him a target for those in power. In Daniel 6:4, it is written, "His enemies could find no corruption in him because he was trustworthy." His mere existence, his loyalty to truth, was enough to provoke those who thrived in deceit. This is what happens to chosen ones. You don't need to act against anyone. Your presence alone exposes falsehoods and shakes the foundation of lies. And when that happens, opposition becomes inevitable. Have you ever wondered why some people gossip about you, try to discredit your words, or twist your intentions? Why do obstacles seem to appear the moment you take a step toward your calling? The truth is, when you carry spiritual wisdom and an enlightened soul, the world responds in two ways, either with admiration or with resistance. Envy, criticism, and even persecution are not signs that you are doing something wrong. They are signs that you are walking in divine alignment. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that, said Martin Luther King Jr. Your light is forcing hidden things to the surface, and that can be uncomfortable for those who are not ready to face themselves. So, how do you handle this? The answer lies in how you respond to those who oppose you. Daniel didn't fight back with bitterness or retaliation. He didn't waste his energy trying to justify himself. or convince those who had already decided not to listen. Instead, he remained faithful and trusted that divine justice would prevail. And it did. He was thrown into the lion's den, yet God shut the mouths of the lions, proving that no harm can touch those who walk in righteousness. Likewise, if you are facing adversity, do not let it shake you. Stand firm, stay true to your purpose, and trust that everything will unfold in divine timing. Have you ever considered that the very trials you are facing are confirmation of your calling? Could it be that the resistance you experience is proof that you are set apart for something greater? Your journey is not meant to be easy, but it is meant to be meaningful. The more you grow in spirituality and wisdom, the more you will encounter opposition, but also the more you will inspire others. So, the next time you feel misunderstood or challenged, remember this: it is not about you. It is about the light you carry, and that light is unstoppable. If these insights resonate with you, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue to explore the hidden challenges faced by chosen ones together. 7. Children and animals sense something special in you. Have you ever walked into a room and noticed how children or animals respond to you? Perhaps a baby locks eyes with you, staring deeply as if recognizing something beyond the surface, or a child smiles at you with an unusual sense of familiarity. Maybe an animal that usually shies away from strangers approaches you without hesitation, drawn to your presence. This is no mere coincidence. There is something profound about the chosen ones, an energy, a presence that is unseen but deeply felt. Those who are spiritually attuned radiate something different, something that the innocent and the pure can perceive without words. Jesus himself highlighted this unique sensitivity in Matthew 19:14, saying, "Let the little children come to me, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Children, in their untainted nature, are drawn to the light within those who are spiritually awakened. They see beyond the material world, sensing something divine, something reassuring in the presence of the chosen. Animals, too, possess an innate ability to detect energy and intention. Science acknowledges their heightened senses, but spirituality reveals a deeper truth. Animals are attuned to the vibrations of those who walk in alignment with their divine purpose. This is beautifully exemplified in the biblical story of Balaam's donkey in Numbers 22. Balaam, blinded by his own agenda, failed to see the angel blocking his path, but his donkey perceived the presence of the divine and refused to move forward. This story is not just about a moment in history, it is a revelation of how the unseen world operates. Animals can discern what human eyes often miss, responding to energies rather than appearances. Now, reflect on this for a moment. If innocent beings, untouched by societal conditioning, can sense something unique in you, what does that say about your mission? Could it be that your presence carries an imprint of the divine, an energy so powerful that it speaks louder than words? Being chosen is not just about knowledge or faith. It is about embodying a spiritual frequency that transforms those around you without effort. The true mark of the chosen is not in grand displays of wisdom, but in the quiet impact of their presence. Their spirit emanates peace, their energy heals, and their mere existence inspires. Where chaos and distractions are rampant, your spiritual essence becomes a sanctuary for those around you. Many are lost, searching for something they cannot define. Yet when they encounter a chosen one, they feel a shift, a sense of clarity, comfort, or inspiration they may not even understand. This is your calling, to let your presence be a silent testimony of your connection to the divine. You don't have to convince anyone with words. Your energy alone can be enough. The challenge, then, is to cultivate this presence daily. Walk with intention. Speak with kindness. Move with purpose. And most importantly, stay rooted in your spiritual connection, knowing that your very existence is a beacon for those who need guidance. If children and animals recognize something special in you, perhaps it's time you recognize it in yourself. Let your life be proof of the unseen, and may your presence illuminate the path for others, even when no words are spoken. Are you ready to embrace your unique spiritual presence? If so, comment below. I radiate pure energy to affirm your connection with the divine and the natural world. As we explore the depths of spirituality, it becomes clear that the path of the chosen ones is marked by unique signs that not everyone possesses. If you resonate with these 7 marks, know that you are on a profound journey of awakening and transformation. What are your thoughts on this? Do you see these signs in yourself or someone you know? Share your insights in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you found this video enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. And be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos filled with deep spiritual insights. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay awakened, stay wise. Chosen ones, even the top demon can't touch you. God sealed her destiny with unbreakable protection. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Welcome, beloved chosen ones. Have you ever wondered why, despite the storms that rage around you, you continue to stand strong? It's not by chance, it's divine protection. When God seals your destiny, no force of darkness can break through. Even the strongest demons recognize the power that surrounds you and step back in defeat. So, if you've ever felt the weight of spiritual battles, know this: you are covered, shielded, and untouchable under God's mighty hand. Drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced moments where you felt God's undeniable protection in your life? Let's share and uplift one another. 1. God's contract over your life is non-negotiable. You are not simply existing. You were chosen for a divine purpose, and that purpose comes with an eternal promise of protection. This is not a battle where the outcome is uncertain. The victory has already been written in your favor. Imagine a contract, but not just any contract. This is a divine decree that has been etched into the spiritual fabric of existence. There are no loopholes, no amendments, and certainly no power that can overrule what has already been divinely set in motion. Your life is not up for negotiation. It is covered by a spiritual authority that no force can challenge. Every attempt made against you is already accounted for, already neutralized before it even begins. Dark forces will try to shake you, sending distractions, obstacles, and illusions meant to cause doubt or fear. But what they fail to realize is that their efforts are meaningless. They are engaging in a battle they have already lost. Your protection is not a temporary defense. It is a permanent, divine guarantee. What's even more profound is that every attack against you doesn't weaken you. Instead, It strengthens your spiritual armor, reinforcing your position and pushing you even closer to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. The very energy that is meant to break you is transformed into fuel that elevates you. Their weapons are rendered useless, and their attempts only serve to fortify what God has already established for your life. This is not about luck, nor is it about coincidence. It is about spiritual authority, an authority that cannot be questioned, revoked, or overturned. Those who operate in darkness know this, and they fear it. That fear is the very reason why they work tirelessly to distract and discourage, hoping you might forget the power that resides within you. But you must stand firm, unwavering in the knowledge that you are untouchable. Your destiny has been secured by the hands of a higher power, a power that no demon can challenge, no opposition can undo, and no force can override. You walk in a light that darkness cannot comprehend, and because of that, you are not only protected, you are unstoppable. This is your divine truth, sealed in eternity, beyond the reach of any enemy. Stay steadfast, knowing that your steps are guided, your purpose is protected, and your victory is inevitable. Are you ready to embrace the unshakable truth that God's contract over your life is non-negotiable? If so, comment below. I trust God's plan to show your commitment to walking in His divine purpose. 2. The battle was over before it began. The battle was over before it even began. From the moment you were chosen, your victory was assured. The forces of darkness may have plotted against you, setting traps and weaving illusions to shake your faith. But what they failed to understand is that you had already won. Your destiny was sealed with unbreakable protection, a divine decree that no force, no matter how powerful or persistent, can override. Every move the enemy makes is destined for failure. They devise plans, whisper lies, and try to manipulate circumstances, but nothing they do will ever stick. Every scheme collapses before it even gains traction. They are caught in an endless cycle of frustration, desperately trying to bring down someone who is shielded by an authority far greater than their own. It is like they are swinging swords at shadows, wasting energy on a battle they can never win. Think about it. Your enemies invest so much time and effort into coming against you, yet their attempts only serve as reminders of their own defeat. They try to stir confusion, but clarity finds you. They try to create fear, but courage rises within you. Every attack they launch is countered by the power that surrounds you, the divine presence that upholds you. They are fighting a losing war, and deep down, they know it. What makes you untouchable is not just your strength or resilience. It is the undeniable truth that your life is anchored in divine purpose. You were set apart before the foundations of the earth were laid. God's hand upon your life is the ultimate seal, one that no demon, no force, and no darkness can break. Your spiritual awakening is the reason they fight so hard against you, but it is also the reason they can never prevail. The enemy's greatest mistake is believing they have a chance. But every time they rise against you, they are met with a wall they cannot cross. Every time they attempt to strike, their weapons turn to dust. They may come in one direction, but they flee in 7, because the power surrounding you is too great for them to overcome. You are not just protected. You are divinely shielded, carried by the very hands of the Almighty. Understand this, the war was never about you alone. It has always been about what you carry, the purpose within you, the light you bring to a world overshadowed by darkness. That is why they fight. But no matter how relentless the attacks, no matter how fierce the opposition, the truth remains unchanged. You are victorious. Not because of anything you have done, but because of the one who goes before you, the one who stands beside you, and the one who has already won the battle on your behalf. So, let this be your assurance. You walk in a victory that was determined long before your enemies even thought to rise against you. No demon, no darkness, no force of evil can rewrite the ending that God has already penned. You are chosen, protected, and victorious. Rest in that truth and move forward in the power of your calling. Comment below. Victory was mine from the start, if you believe the battle was already won for you. 3. Demons can't thrive in the presence of true authority. Demons cannot survive in the presence of true authority. It's not merely that they avoid you. They cannot withstand being anywhere near you because of the immense power you carry. As a chosen one, you do not just walk through life protected. You walk in a level of spiritual authority so great that darkness trembles at your presence. It is as if you carry an impenetrable shield. But even stronger than that, it is an undeniable force, a divine presence so powerful that evil does not merely shy away. It flees in terror. Dark forces thrive in environments filled with chaos, fear, and confusion. That is their breeding ground, the place where they manipulate and deceive. But the moment someone anointed with divine authority steps into that space, everything shifts. The game changes. The darkness cannot maintain its grip when the light of divine presence shines through. As the Bible says in James 4:7, resist the devil and he will flee from you. The forces of darkness are not just inconvenienced by your presence, they are completely overpowered. You carry a spiritual frequency that dark entities cannot tolerate. It is not even a battle, because the fight is over before it even begins. You do not need to struggle or engage in some elaborate spiritual warfare. They flee on their own because they recognize the authority you walk in. It is as if they are allergic to the very energy you radiate. This is the power of divine alignment. This is what it means to be chosen. The moment you step into a room, they already know. They sense it. They recognize who you are and what you carry. And that is why they do not even attempt to attack you directly. It is not merely that you are protected. It is that you are operating under a divine mandate, a supernatural covering that makes any attempt to harm you futile. They know that coming against you is like entering a battle they have already lost. It is not just a matter of protection, it is a matter of divine supremacy. You do not merely survive in the presence of darkness, you disrupt it. You dismantle its strongholds. You unravel its grip on the environment around you simply by being who you are. When you carry the light of divine authority, evil cannot withstand your presence. That authority is not something you earned by human effort. It was granted to you by a power far greater than anything darkness can comprehend. It is written in Luke 10:19, "Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you." They keep their distance from you, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. The light within you is too intense, too consuming for them to handle. You are not just walking in protection, you are walking in divine power. You are not merely shielded, you are a force of disruption to the kingdom of darkness. The chosen ones do not cower in fear, they walk boldly, knowing that they have been sealed by God with an unbreakable protection. And because of that, no force in hell can touch them. So stand firm, chosen one. Walk with confidence. Your spiritual authority is not just a defense, it is an unstoppable force. Darkness has no choice but to step aside when you walk in the fullness of your divine calling. As Romans 8:31 declares, if God is for us, who can be against us? Nothing and no one. You are covered. You are anointed. You are untouchable. If you found these insights enlightening, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue to explore the power of true spiritual authority together. 4. Your soul vibrates on a frequency demons can't perceive. There exists a divine truth that many fail to grasp. Chosen ones operate on an entirely different plane of existence, one so elevated that the forces of darkness cannot even begin to comprehend it. This isn't a battle of equal sides. Rather, it's like trying to tune into a radio frequency that demons and malevolent forces simply cannot access. They remain trapped in the lower vibrations of fear, doubt, and negativity, while your soul ascends far beyond their reach. You are sealed with an unbreakable spiritual protection, an energy so high that no dark force can penetrate it. Think of yourself as a divine beacon, radiating with the power of the Most High, while the enemy stumbles in confusion, unable to grasp your essence. It's not merely about defense, it's about complete transcendence. The wicked ones may attempt to shake the foundations of those who are unaware of their true identity, but a chosen one? You stand behind an impenetrable wall of divine fortification. Their tricks, deceptions, and illusions have no power over you because they cannot latch onto what they do not understand. To them, you are an enigma, a presence so full of divine light that their schemes disintegrate before they even reach you. This is why their attacks often seem futile, bouncing off without leaving a trace. You have been marked not just for protection, but for ascension, for divine elevation that places you far beyond their grasp. The more they try to approach, the more they realize they are up against something they can neither touch nor comprehend. Darkness thrives on ignorance, deception, and fear, but your very existence shatters those illusions. Where others may falter, you stand unwavering, a glaring spotlight against their shadows. They fear what they cannot control, and since they cannot control you, they retreat in confusion and dread. This is the power of being chosen. Your spirit is wrapped in an unshakable divine force, making you untouchable by the enemy. So, let go of fear. Understand that your destiny is already sealed by the hands of the Almighty. No weapon formed against you can prosper, because no weapon can even reach you. You are walking proof that God's power is unmatched, and that alone is enough to send darkness into retreat. Stay strong, keep your spirit elevated, and know that as a chosen one, you are beyond the reach of any force that seeks to bring you down. 5. Your energy is a divine firewall. Demons thrive on fear. It is their most potent weapon, their most effective means of control. They know that if they can instill fear in your heart, they can manipulate your thoughts, your emotions, and your decisions. Fear creates doubt, hesitation, and a crippling sense of powerlessness, exactly what dark forces want you to feel. But here's the truth. Fear has no place in the life of a chosen one. You are set apart, divinely appointed, and protected beyond measure. Because of this, fear does not define you. While others may be consumed by worry and uncertainty, you move differently. You walk in faith, armored with the confidence that your destiny is guided by God's unbreakable protection. Demons cannot manipulate what they cannot intimidate. And that's where their power over you crumbles. It's not that chosen ones don't face adversity. Hardships come, challenges arise, and threats may loom. But the difference is that fear does not govern your decisions. It may try to creep in, whispering doubts, stirring up anxiety, but it never finds a home within you. You recognize it for what it is, a weak attempt to shake your faith. And instead of reacting with fear, you respond with purpose. This is what makes you untouchable. Demons attempt to plant seeds of confusion, despair, and doubt, hoping to disrupt your spiritual awakening. They rely on deception, twisting reality to make you question your worth and your purpose. But when they see you standing firm, unwavering in your belief, they realize their tactics are futile. Their entire strategy depends on people who are easily shaken. But when they look at you, they see someone walking with divine certainty, someone who cannot be manipulated or controlled. Fear is their weapon, but against you, it is useless. They may try to stir up chaos, but you remain at peace. They may try to instill doubt, but you move with clarity. They may attempt to create obstacles, but you keep walking in faith. And as you do, their power diminishes. The moment they recognize that their tricks hold no sway over you, they have no choice but to retreat. Their control is broken, and their influence fades into nothingness. You are chosen, and because of that, no force of darkness can alter your destiny. Your spiritual awakening has placed a shield around you, one that is unbreakable, forged by the hands of God Himself. No demon, no enemy, no shadow can penetrate it. You are divinely protected, and nothing formed against you shall prosper. When you walk in this truth, you become a force that darkness cannot withstand. Comment below. My energy is a divine firewall. If you are ready to protect your spirit and stand in your divine power. 6. Demons. Fear your awareness of their manipulations. The moment you awaken to the truth of how dark forces operate, their grip on your life begins to crumble. The enemy thrives in deception, hiding in the shadows, manipulating through fear, doubt, and confusion. These negative forces, whether you call them demons, low vibrational energies, or spiritual adversaries, have one goal: to distort your perception and keep you from realizing the divine power within you. But here's the truth, and let this truth set you free. As a chosen one, you are untouchable. Not because darkness does not try, but because you have something far greater than unbreakable spiritual awareness and divine protection. Think about it. Their power is an illusion. They operate like a magician, using sleight of hand, distracting you with fear and lies so that you don't see the truth. But the second you see through the illusion, it collapses. And when their deception is exposed, they lose all control over you. Jesus Himself declared, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." John 8:32. That is why chosen ones are dangerous to darkness, because you carry the wisdom to discern falsehood from reality. You are not easily swayed by manipulation. You do not bend under pressure. You see the enemy for what it is, a defeated force grasping at straws. These dark entities work by planting seeds of fear and self-doubt in your mind, hoping you will nurture them with your own energy. They whisper lies, hoping you'll believe them. But once you recognize these tactics, they can no longer take root in your spirit. The Word reminds us, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Fear only has power where there is ignorance. But you, as a chosen one, do not walk in ignorance. You walk in spiritual truth. This is why your awareness is not just a defense, it is a weapon. It is your sword of light, cutting through the darkness, dismantling deception, and destroying strongholds. The enemy does not fear mere protection. It fears knowledge. It fears the light of God within you. It fears your understanding, because when you understand, you cannot be controlled. When you see through the game, you refuse to play by its rules, and that makes you untouchable. The real reason dark forces tremble at your presence is not just because of the divine shield around you, but because you are no longer blind. You are no longer a puppet in their game. The moment you recognize their tactics, they lose their stronghold. Their strategies unravel. They cannot deceive a mind that is anchored in truth. They cannot control a heart that is guarded by God. They cannot touch a soul that walks in divine purpose. So hear me clearly. You are not vulnerable. You are victorious. You are not a target. You are a threat to every lie, every illusion, and every deceptive scheme that has ever tried to hold you back. The darkness may try, but it cannot win. Because you, chosen one, walk in truth. And the truth, it sends every force of darkness running in fear. If you found these insights eye-opening, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue to uncover the hidden manipulations of darkness and walk in spiritual awareness together. 7. Divine assignment means supernatural reinforcement. Your life is not just an ordinary journey. It is a divine mission, intricately woven into the fabric of spiritual destiny. Unlike those who wander aimlessly through life, unsure of their purpose, you have been chosen, set apart, and sealed with a level of supernatural protection that defies human comprehension. The forces working in your favor are not mere whispers of encouragement, but divine enforcers, angelic warriors assigned specifically to ensure your path remains aligned with God's plan. While many may feel vulnerable in their struggles, you walk with celestial guardians whose presence is as real as the air you breathe. These are not passive observers. They are active defenders, spiritual sentinels who step in at the precise moment danger arises, shielding you from attacks that would have destroyed anyone else. You are not walking this path alone. The forces of darkness may try to rise against you, but they cannot penetrate the divine seal that covers your life. God Himself has established an impenetrable fortress around you, ensuring that no scheme, no manipulation, no demonic force can alter your destiny. This protection is not conditional. It is a spiritual decree that stands unshaken through every trial, every battle, and every moment of uncertainty. When the enemy attempts to set traps before you, these divine enforcers step in, redirecting your course, turning obstacles into stepping stones, and making sure that what was meant to harm you is transformed into a blessing. You are covered by a supernatural firewall that not even the highest-ranking adversary can breach. Think of these angelic warriors as the ultimate spiritual bouncers, stationed at the gates of your destiny, allowing only the right people, opportunities, and experiences to enter. They are not just blocking negativity. They are actively orchestrating events in your favor, ensuring that every move you make aligns with the divine blueprint designed specifically for you. This means that even when things seem chaotic, when life throws unexpected hardships your way, there is a greater plan at work. What may appear as a delay is often divine redirection, positioning you for something far greater than you could have envisioned. The universe is not working against you. It is moving in harmony with the purpose God has placed over your life. Every challenge you face is met with immediate intervention. You may not always see it, but there is a spiritual battle taking place on your behalf, with forces beyond human understanding ensuring that your mission remains intact. When darkness tries to invade, your celestial warriors stand firm, transforming barriers into breakthroughs. The enemy may attempt to sow confusion, doubt, and fear, but none of it can take root because the power surrounding you is unshakable. Your very existence disrupts the plans of those who operate in darkness because you are a chosen one, marked by divine favor, walking in an extraordinary reality where God's supernatural protection covers every aspect of your life. So when the storms come, when the enemy whispers lies, when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing against you, remember who you are. You are not just another person struggling through life. You are a force to be reckoned with, a chosen vessel fortified by celestial strength. You are divinely equipped to walk through fire and emerge unscathed because the hand of God is upon you. No demon, no adversary, no earthly force can alter what has been ordained for your life. Stand firm in your calling. Move forward in confidence and know that your destiny is sealed with unbreakable, supernatural protection. 8. Your name is spoken in realms you can't see. Your name is not just a combination of letters given to you at birth. It carries a profound spiritual weight that echoes through realms you cannot see. When we say your name is spoken in places beyond human perception, we don't mean it as a poetic phrase. It is a stark reality, a divine truth, and a warning to the forces that thrive in darkness. You are not just another person walking this earth. You are marked by God, chosen, sealed, and shielded by divine protection. The spiritual awakening you have undergone, or are stepping into, isn't without purpose. It has set you apart, making you a beacon of light in a world filled with hidden battles. The forces of darkness recognize this. They see the spiritual covering over your life, the divine assignment attached to your existence, and the authority placed upon you. And let's be clear, it's not just that they fear you as an individual. They are absolutely terrified of what happens when they try to come against you. Picture this demonic forces gathered in a secretive meeting, whispering your name with hesitation. They are calculating, analyzing, and weighing the risks of making a move against you. They see a glaring warning sign hovering over you, as if written in celestial fire. Divinely protected, proceed at your own peril. They know that touching you means invoking forces far greater than themselves, forces they cannot overpower. You are not a mere human to them. You are someone fortified with divine backing, an impenetrable fortress they dare not breach. To them, you are like a bank, wrapped in an unbreakable spiritual shield. They might try to strategize, might even contemplate a small attempt, but ultimately, they know the cost is too high. The moment they attempt to step into your territory, the spiritual consequences are immediate. They understand that to challenge you is to challenge the one who has called and covered you. And that is a battle they will always lose. So, while you may feel unseen, or even underestimated by the world. Do not be deceived if the enemy is aware of you. But their whispers in the shadows are not filled with power or control over you. Instead, they whisper your name in fear, knowing full well that any attack on you would lead to their own downfall. They know that the forces of heaven will rise in your defense before they can even complete their first move. 9. Your light exposes their darkness. Demons are like cockroaches, thriving in the hidden corners of darkness, feeding on fear, doubt, and confusion. They manipulate, deceive, and distort reality to keep people trapped in a cycle of uncertainty. But the moment a chosen one walks into the room, it's as if a powerful floodlight has been switched on, revealing every deceit, every trick, and every illusion they have ever used to control others. Their power is an illusion, and your very presence exposes the game they play. You are not just another person in this world. You are a spiritual force, a divine beacon of light. It's not about performing grand gestures or making loud declarations. It's about the power of simply being who God created you to be. The truth radiates from you effortlessly, dissolving their carefully crafted lies and stripping away the shadows they hide behind. As Jesus said, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Matthew 5:14. That light within you is not just for show. It is a divine weapon against darkness, a force that dismantles deception with every step you take. The enemy thrives in secrecy, working from behind the veil to pull the strings of manipulation. But you are the spotlight that brings everything into sharp focus. Their attempts to confuse, to instill fear, or to plant seeds of doubt become meaningless in your presence. Imagine a magician trying to perform an illusion, only for you to pull back the curtain and expose every hidden mechanism behind the trick. Their entire strategy unravels, and all they are left with is their own helplessness. Even the top demon, the highest-ranking force of darkness, knows the truth he cannot touch you. Why? Because your destiny has been sealed by God with unbreakable spiritual protection. As Romans 8:31 reminds us, if God is for us, who can be against us? The forces of darkness may try. They may hiss and snarl in frustration, but in the end, it's all an act. They cannot harm what has been divinely secured. The authority placed upon you is greater than any scheme they can devise. Your presence alone is enough to unsettle them. They tremble not because of what you do, but because of what you represent: truth, light, and the undeniable power of divine purpose. You walk with a clarity that cannot be clouded by their deceit, a vision that cuts through every illusion. This is why they fear you. This is why they retreat when you step forward. And this is why no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Never doubt your role in this world. Your spiritual journey is not just about personal growth. It is a divine mission. Every step you take in truth, every moment you stand firm in faith, reinforces the reality that darkness has no claim over you. When you shine, you don't just light up your path. You remind the entire universe that darkness has already lost. The battle has been won, and you are walking in the victory God has already declared over your life. Are you ready to embrace your light and rise above the darkness? If so, comment below, "I will shine," to affirm your commitment to walking in truth and transformation. Let your light inspire and uplift others. 10. You're a walking rebuke to darkness. You are not merely a person walking through life. You are a chosen vessel, a beacon of spiritual authority, and a living declaration that darkness has no dominion here. Your very existence is like a thunderclap in the stillness of the night, shaking the foundation of everything demonic forces attempt to establish. Even the highest-ranking demons tremble at the mere thought of confronting you, not because of your physical strength, but because of the divine seal upon your life. This seal is unbreakable, forged by God Himself, and it signifies that you are under His impenetrable protection. No force of darkness can override this decree. No curse can penetrate it, and no attack can prevail against it. Your presence alone unsettles the forces of evil, because you embody everything they seek to destroy: faith, love, righteousness, and unshakable spiritual strength. Every breath you take is an act of defiance against the despair and fear they try to spread. Every step you make disrupts their plans. You are a living contradiction to their existence, a reminder that they are not the ultimate authority in this world, and that realization terrifies them. They thrive on fear, manipulation, and chaos, but you thrive on divine truth, and the truth you carry is like a sword that cuts through their deceptions. They know that as long as you walk in alignment with God's purpose, their power is nullified. You don't even have to fight them directly. Your mere presence sends them into retreat, like shadows fleeing from the rising sun. Have you ever considered the sheer magnitude of the spiritual power you carry? It's not just in your actions, but in your very thoughts, your intentions, and the unwavering faith that anchors your soul. When your mind aligns with God's will, it sends shockwaves through the realm of darkness. It's as if a spiritual bomb is detonated in their midst, shattering their carefully constructed strongholds and exposing their frailty. That is why they cannot touch you. They understand that even their most cunning schemes cannot penetrate a heart that is fully surrendered to God. Their greatest fear is that you will fully realize the authority you have been given, that you will wake up each day with the awareness that you are untouchable under God's divine shield. And once you embrace this truth, their influence is dismantled before it even has a chance to take root. You don't need to scream, fight, or even acknowledge their presence. Your light alone is enough to send them scattering. Like roaches fleeing when the lights come on, they have no choice but to withdraw because they cannot compete with the divine truth that radiates from you. You are not an ordinary soul. You are a walking testament to God's power, a constant reminder that the forces of darkness are ultimately powerless. This is why they fear you. This is why they avoid you. And this is why you must never doubt who you are. The moment you accepted God's calling, He sealed your destiny with unbreakable protection. No demon, no weapon, no force of darkness can alter what God has already decreed. Stand firm, chosen one, for you walk under the covering of divine authority, and nothing can change that. Comment below, "I shine with divine light," if you are ready to stand boldly against darkness. 11. The fear in their eyes is real. You don't fit the mold. You don't follow the script they're used to manipulating. Most people operate within predictable cycles of fear and failure, but you move on a higher plane guided by divine wisdom, stepping beyond the reach of their influence. They expect you to fall into the same traps as everyone else, but instead, you break free. It's like they're playing a game of chess, but you're playing by an entirely different set of rules they can't even begin to understand. This throws them into confusion. Their power relies on controlling outcomes by pushing the right emotional buttons: fear, doubt, despair. But what happens when those buttons don't work on you? They're left scrambling, unable to manipulate or predict your next move. They feed on fear, yet you walk in faith. They whisper doubt, yet you stand firm in divine purpose. Instead of reacting to their attempts to shake you, you keep pressing forward with an unshakable spirit. Every time they try to ensnare you in negativity, you rise above it. While others might fall into patterns of self-doubt and hesitation, you stay aligned with a purpose they cannot comprehend. Your mind and spirit operate on a wavelength they cannot tune into, leaving them powerless against you. This isn't just resistance, it's spiritual awakening at its highest level. You're not just immune to their tactics, you render them ineffective. The more they try to decipher you, the more lost they become. They seek an opening, but your soul is fortified by divine protection. They want to lead you astray, but your steps are ordered by a higher power. You don't give them anything to work with because your thoughts, decisions, and actions are aligned with a destiny that has already been sealed by God's unbreakable protection. And that is your greatest shield. You are untouchable because you are beyond their grasp. They can't manipulate what they can't predict. While they struggle to make sense of who you are and what drives you, you have already moved ahead beyond their reach, beyond their control, walking in divine authority. If this message resonates with you, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's uncover the deeper truths behind fear and how we can transcend it together. 12. Your destiny is tied to a greater mission. Chosen ones, you are set apart. There is something within you that makes you untouchable, a divine seal of spiritual protection that no force of darkness can break. Your very presence disrupts the enemy's plans because you do not operate from fear. You walk in faith, anchored in an unshakable peace that transcends all understanding. This is not a peace that comes from worldly comfort or an easy life. In fact, chosen ones often endure more trials than most. But the key difference is this: your peace does not depend on external circumstances. It is deeply rooted in the presence of God within you. Demons thrive on confusion, chaos, and fear. They stir up storms, hoping to pull people into their whirlwind of despair. But you, the chosen one, are different. When they bring the storm, you stand firm, unmoved, like a lighthouse in the middle of raging waves. They expect you to react, to crumble under pressure, but instead, you walk through the fire unburned, through the storm untouched, because your soul is protected by a power far greater than any darkness. This drives them mad. They throw distractions, temptations, and doubts your way, yet nothing seems to shake you. Why? Because your strength does not come from yourself. It comes from the one who created you. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge. Psalm 18, verse 2. This is your foundation. No matter what comes against you, you are anchored in God's truth, and that truth makes you immovable. The enemy's strategy is simple: to make you question, to make you doubt, to make you feel like you are losing control. But here's the reality: they can only win if you give in to fear. They cannot touch you unless you let them into your mind, into your heart, into your spirit. And because you are sealed with divine protection, they have no true power over you. The peace within you is not just a defense, it is a weapon. When demons try to shake you and fail, they weaken. Every time they attempt to disrupt your life and you remain steadfast, they lose their grip. Every attack that doesn't work makes them more desperate, and their power over you diminishes. Chosen one, understand this. The more they try to throw you off balance, the stronger you become. The greater their effort, the more unshakable your peace grows. This is not just protection, it is divine empowerment. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. You were created to stand tall, to walk in confidence, to move through life with a strength that cannot be explained, only experienced. So, the next time the enemy comes knocking, the next time the storm rages around you, remember who you are. You are chosen. You are protected. You are sealed with unbreakable spiritual security. Let them try. Let them scheme. Let them attempt to shake you. They will fail because you belong to a higher power, and that power is greater than anything that comes against you. Walk boldly, walk fearlessly, and know that no force of darkness can ever touch the light within you. Are you ready to embrace your greater mission? If so, comment below. I am ready to show your commitment to walking in your true destiny. Let this be the moment you step into your higher calling. As a chosen one, you are divinely protected. No force of darkness can touch you, and no enemy can alter the destiny that God has sealed for you. When God places His unbreakable shield around you, even the top demon must retreat. Walk boldly in your faith, knowing that His hand is upon you, guiding you toward your divine purpose. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. And be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss our powerful insights on spiritual growth and divine protection. Stay blessed, stay chosen, and we'll see you in the next video.